So today is Diwali 2019, and I would like to wish all my subscribers and viewers a very happy and prosperous Diwali. On this day, I would like to discuss about something which is very close to my heart. Can you tell me what's the difference between yourself and a monkey living in the African jungle? I would think everybody of you would agree that the difference is that you can think, you can be conscious, and finally you can be aware of who you are. Now, once we have this property, how can we express it more and more and more so that you unfold to the greatest being that you were supposed to be in this life? How is it possible that you can really live up to your complete potential and achieve the highest degree of happiness in this process? We call this phenomena living consciously. Looks very simple, but probably is not that. We, so let's see and examine a few of the ways in which this phenomena of living consciously, of not sleepwalking through life can. So we would say that living consciously is something like awakening. It's going like towards enlightenment, as they say. So, like in anything, you always have the choice. That is what the divine has given you. The divine has given you a choice whether you want to seek or not to seek, whether you want to go towards awareness or not bother, whether you want to seek the truth or just not bother, or you want to exercise our your inherent powers, the powers of your soul, or continue to function only at the basic level of being eating, drinking, and becoming merry whenever you can. Now, uh, what is betrayal? Betrayal is supposed to be one of the bad things that can happen to people, but I would feel that betrayal of yourself by yourself is the worst kind of betrayal. So, an example is you have some certain facts about yourself which are uncomfortable, and you want to avoid those facts. You know what is good for you, but you don't do it. You know the right course of action, but you don't follow it. And finally, you just say, I don't want to think about it and at this time. For example, you know that your company's sales graph is just going down, but you don't take remedial steps, even though you know what you got to do. Maybe you are a student and your grades are just plummeting, but you still don't do anything about it. You don't want to think about it. You know what's good for you to eat, but you continue eating in unhealthy ways and just refuse to think about it. That is another form of betrayal. So when we again think about living more consciously, what are the what are the characteristics where we can say that we are going towards a more conscious or a more aware form of being? The first thing is that your mind is more active rather than passive. What do you mean by that? We have a mind which has great powers of thinking. Therefore, it is important that we take control of that mind, and through that means we take control over our lives and become more responsible for our lives. Therefore, whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever we think is in our total choice and control. So, this kind of mind is a conscious mind rather than that kind of a mind which just responds to external stimuli in passive ways. This kind of a mind takes you to be in the moment. You are always in the moment. You, each and every part of you, your each and every cell of you is completely immersed in the moment, doing just exactly what you're doing at that time. The person in front of you remains the most important person for you at that time. So that is another characteristic of a conscious being. Then a conscious being has the ability to distinguish about certain facts. You know, I mean, most of the time we have problems when we misinterpret the things as they happen in all around us. For example, let us see, Mark Twain once said that get your facts first, and then obviously you can go ahead and distort them as you please. It looks a little bit funny, but it is true. We have a very, very poor ability to see the facts as they are. Actually, we don't even want to see them. So, in fact, Friedrich Nietzsche has said that there are no facts and only interpretations of the facts. And that's probably true. So, I would go a step further and we say that there are facts, there is our interpretation of the fact, and then there is the emotions after the interpretation. For example, if your best friend does not wish you on your birthday, well, not a good thing. But the fact is, he was extremely busy trying to solve a crisis in his office. You don't know that. What you do know is that he did not call you. Your interpretation then starts, he doesn't care about you. And finally, the emotion which comes out of that is that you feel bad, disgruntled, and you continue to brood over how you are going to tick him off. So you see how this kind of illusion is always going on. So a conscious mind, a conscious living being will be always looking to get the fact. And then even though there is an interpretation of the fact, he or she will know that this is just an interpretation. This is his interpretation, need not be the truth. Usually is not the truth. And obviously, all the emotions which come after that will also be just the emotion and nothing else. So these were a few pointers on how we can try and strive to be more conscious in our day-to-day life. And to sum up again, an active mind, a mind that takes control and is responsible for what happens to us. A mind which can be looking at the fact and know that this fact is the fact and there's an interpretation and then there's an emotion. And then thirdly, a mind which is completely at ease at looking at the not so good part of ourselves, looking at where we failed, or rather where we did not come up to our expectations, and looking at what needs to be done, and finally, the action that follows that decision of something needs to be done into your life. That action is also pretty effortless. You don't resist those actions. So we will continue talking about living conscious in further episodes. This is all for today, and again, wishing you a very happy Diwali and the new year. Bye bye.